Oh, sorry, there's an Indian.
Find him by the shady water, deep within the patchy forest. Find him, scalp him, eat him up for breakfast. Real good friend to Kimo Sabe. Save another silver bullet. I hope silver away, right into tomorrow today. But who was that masked man you say? That was the Lone Ranger. Fill a pipe of peace for Tonto, Kimo Sabe, a friend and brother. He smoked pipe of peace with Tonto, with his mask on back to fronto. Tonto fall about with laughter. He ahead, our great white brother. To silver master, very altogether. I hope silver away, right into tomorrow today. But who was that masked man you say? That was the Lone Ranger. Stop and wonder what the with the great white brother. Maybe masked man he approved to try it on, Sir Tonto. Let me say to Mr. Loman, Tonto doesn't mind. I hope silver away, right into tomorrow today. But who was that masked man you say? That was the Lone Ranger. Easy, steady, big fella. Come on, Silver!
Oh, there's a track that I'd completely forgotten about. I haven't played that for ages. That was out in the 70s, I think it was. Maybe. Do you remember that one? Hello? Do you remember that one? There's no one there.
Yes, I'm here, but I can only talk when the microphone is on.
Don't be so sarcastic.
I'm not.
Anybody can make a mistake.
I
just
know.
because I did happen to put the microphone on doesn't mean to say, it's the end of the world.
I do remember that. Yes.
That's a good one. That contains one of the greatest lines ever written. Do you know what that line is?
No, you'll tell me now.
He smoked pipe of peace with Tonto, put his mask on, back to fronto.
He smoked piece of...
You don't even know what that's about, do you? Good morning. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk, and the text messaging service. After all, we welcome all your messages, and I've been paying particular attention to the text messages this last couple of days because I feel guilty, because in the past week or so I've ignored them like dirt. Mm-hmm. That, incidentally, was a band called Quantum Jump. Maybe you don't remember that, but that's what they were called. Listen, I can't contain my excitement today. I woke up this morning thrilled at the prospect. I'm so thrilled at the opening of the new Coca-Cola bottling plant at Lisburn. And there's been great coverage.
Day in the news
great
yesterday.
coverage on every channel last night. And just goes to show you what an exciting country we have here. And I was speaking to a gentleman on the phone yesterday, and he said, if we play our cards right, we'll be first in the queue for the tour around the plant.
Yes, there's tours. What a great tourist attraction.
I'm going to say to you now, do you want me to put your name down?
Oh, please.
I know the guy.
Please.
That's okay. So we'll put our name down. We'll be able to look at all the bottles.
I don't know what we're talking about, because we tried to do a broadcast from a Coca-Cola depot in Belfast. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Yes, we
I don't
did.
recall that for some reason.
Well, I shall tell you.
Did it fail? Did the bid fail?
Yes, and no, Coca-Cola wanted us there.
Of course they wanted us.
And
what happened?
I'm about to sneeze.
Go ahead.
No.
I'll continue on and do something else. Continue on.
Excuse me.
It's all right.
We had a bus run
Yes.
in and around Belfast.
Who's that walked past
That was
there?
Emma.
Emma looks good today.
I don't know what this is.
No, she
Emma
does.
looks good every day.
Very shapely. Anyway, go ahead.
The time you were out in your bus run, remember we spent a week out on the road?
Which bus run was that?
The very first
Oh,
bus
the very
run.
first one, the one that worked.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And we were out and about, and we had a wee call in around Belfast.
Uh-huh.
And we were calling to various places in Belfast. And
That's
one of
right,
the
being sociable, being friendly, and being,
one
of the
places
community.
we were to visit
There's Emma
was
back
the
again.
Coca-Cola.
Bottling plant.
I don't know, it was a bottling plant. It was a big depot.
Processing department.
No, I'm not quite sure.
Depot.
But-
Transit depot.
But we went and we recce'd the right, and decided we'd go. And then the engineers came along and they thought, I don't think we can get a signal because we had to go down a bit of a dip, bit of a hill, and we couldn't get a proper signal, and it was aborted at the last minute.
Is that the story?
We were
That's
going
the whole story. What an exciting story that was.
because we were going round a roundabout heading towards it, and a man made a decision, an executive decision. He says, "We'll not go there."
Well,
Bad.
I bet you wouldn't say no to the new Coca-Cola bottling plant in Lisburn, which processes 1.5 million litres of Coke a day.
Isn't that great? And it works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Every man himself.
Isn't that great? Eh?
Man driven mad. Anyway, here's a gentleman writes to me. He said, when the mad pastor in Florida is burning 200 copies of the Quran on Saturday, you've heard of that?
Yes.
I wonder would he, just for good measure, throw in a few copies of Your Uncle Hugo Loves You by Hugo Duncan. This would highlight the vast number of diddly-dees who have taken over many remote parts of Ulster. A man making a protest of his own. And another gentleman, I've decided that perhaps, I'm being regarded as a person to come to in times of need. There's a lot of people out there who are very disturbed about the way life has treated them. And I find that many of them are turning to me for succour. A gentleman, of course, his name is Graham, and he's been very badly treated in the vets.
The vets?
Yes. He said, what's the world coming to? I walked into my veterinarian surgeon's day clinic today to pick up a flea treatment for the cat. I bet you that's something you've never done.
No.
Have you ever gone on to your vet surgeon to pick up a flea treatment for your cat? No. You see,
A
your
man's
life
com-
is empty.
A man's complaining about you already.
Good.
He says, when you played that Lone Ranger song, he says, why did you not play the original version?
The original version?
Yes.
Was that not the
No,
original
no,
version?
apparently not.
I wonder why.
That's probably a remake.
Is it really?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well.
I must check that out.
Okay.
Anyway, he was in the vets and he said, I said to the nervous lady in the blue uniform, see that poster out there in the waiting room from the dispensary for sick animals? It says, don't feed your cat milk. And she said, that depends, as some cats may be lactose intolerant. I said, that's new, as traditionally we've always seen the pussycat with a saucer of milk. I replied, my cat won't touch water, not even fresh filtered water with no chlorine, and will only drink rainwater that's gathered in a bowl outside that God sends down from the sky. So why this rewriting of history sort of advice? Surely milk comes from a cow. A cat will drink it. It's natural. The cat will only drink the water that comes from the sky, and he'll only drink the milk that comes from the cow. So why are you telling it not to drink milk? And she said, I'm not going to waste my time arguing with someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. Eh? Cheeky old bitch. Charming, I thought. Play my cards right, I could be in here. That's the type of guy I don't like. The man who goes in and talks to a woman and she's cheeky with him and he gets excited and he thinks he might be able to get off with her. Pause to
I
explain.
don't like cheeky girls.
But you see, a lot of people, cheeky girls turn men on.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, you know nothing about it.
I like
That's because
cheeky
you're not a normal person. Pause to explain that this is a sardonic and satirical comment that proto-neo-feminists of the modern ilk may not get. That's what you are. You're a proto-neo-feminist. You didn't know that before. The last determined, if appropriate, after fleecing me for £6.31 for a tiny phial of serum no bigger than a thimble, to talk down to me some more about cat food and meat diets, at which point I blinded her smartly with a scientific investigation of the essential and non-essential amino acids as found in foodstuffs. Oh, dearie, dearie me, he says. Are all women like this in vet surgeons? You seem to know your women. Yours unbelievably. That's Charles Manson III, he calls himself. I don't think it's his real name.
So you've given up on me?
I've given up on you. I give up on you today, I said.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This
I give
morning
up on you because you think Mad Men is no good.
I don't think Matt. I really don't.
You think it's just a love story.
I think it's a love story. It's compact.
Many people listening have no idea what Compact is.
I know, but you and I do.
Compact was one of the first soaps that was on television.
That's what it is. It's Compact.
In the late 50s.
It's just a boy meets girl in the office. He falls for the secretary and she breaks up his marriage. It's one of those things.
What about the evocation of the 60s and the civil rights movement, everything that's gone on behind that? Do you not notice all that?
I don't
That's
watch
gone on.
it.
Do you not notice the backstory in Madman? Do you not know what it's all about? They did a great thing last night. They don't explain anything. There was one of the characters, can't remember what the girl's name was, and another guy, and they were just kind of sitting there talking to one another, and then every once in a while she would go, John, and she'd go, no, he would go, she would go, John, and he'd go, Marcia.
Now, wait a minute now.
John.
Set the scene for John and Marcia. Where are they?
They're sitting in an office.
Right. Is she sitting behind a
They're
typewriter?
they're talking about business, talking about this and that.
Yeah, but where are they? No,
And in their office.
Yeah, but go on, would you please set the scene? Are they across?
Oh, hold on, let me set the scene. They're in their office.
Right.
Working.
Is one at one end of the office and the other at the other end of the office? Are they sitting beside
The
one
girl
another?
the girl is sitting on top of the desk and she's reading a piece of paper.
You see.
And the
so
man is sitting down on the sofa.
She's sitting on the desk beside him with her
No,
legs crossed.
he's on the other side.
Right.
And they're friends and they're talking to each other about business. And then he suddenly goes, Marcia.
She's sitting on his desk.
It could be her desk.
Right, okay, but on a desk and he's sitting at the other.
No.
Are they sharing?
Yes. No, they're sharing. They're in an office in a room. There's a desk in the room. There's
Yes.
a sofa in the corner.
Yes.
She is sitting on the desk.
And he's
Maybe
sitting
her
behind it.
He's sitting, on the sofa in the corner. He's reading another piece of paper
So
as
he's
well.
on the other side of the room.
Yes. They're friends. And they're talking about something totally businesslike. And then he suddenly goes, Marcia. And she goes, John. And he goes, Marcia.
From the
And
other
she
side
goes,
of the room.
John. And she goes, Marcia. And goes, John. And then they continue on what they were talking about. And I'm thinking of all the people who are watching that and saying, what is that about?
That's what I'm asking you. Well,
Do you not realise there was a record that was out in the early 60s called John and Marcia about a couple making love and the two of them are in bed and the man is going, Marcia. And the man is going, and the girl's going, John, Marcia, John, Marcia.
Well, sure, a lot of people that they're hoping that would watch that series won't know that either.
That's my point. My point is they don't make any, what's the word? They don't make any...
So anybody watching will say, what are they talking about? Look at that. That's
see, that's
corny.
what's happened. No, but what I'm saying, that's what's happened to you. You missed everything in that show. You've missed everything. You think it's a love story. You've missed everything. All the subtle little plot points, all the dialogue over the top of your head like a balloon.
I haven't been watching it.
Well, how can you condemn it?
I watched. You told me to watch it.
Dear Golf Alpha Foxtrot Oscar, explain. Is there a God? A man wants to know. A man's asking me, is there a God? Stephen Hawking thinks not, but what does he know? There must be a God, otherwise there'd be no such thing as vodka and fags. Or indeed cans of draft Guinness and other tinned alcoholic beverages. That's another man comes to me. The carbon dioxide emitting beer can widget is without doubt the greatest invention of all time, along with antibiotics and space travel and other stuff like that. Do you really think that if the universe was a result of random quantum physics, we'd be able to enjoy a beer and a fag? I doubt it. God made beer and fags. My chair's gone down again. Look, see it gone down? Yeah. Why does people... Every morning I come in here, I sit on the chair, it sinks down, I put it away to the corner, and I go up, I get another chair. Every morning I come down, the same chair is back here. Why is Ken doing this?
One of our colleagues apparently likes that chair and changes it.
Which colleague is that?
I don't want to say.
No, name him.
I can't.
Name him. Is it Mark Patterson?
No, you have to guess, no.
Mark Patterson?
No. It's a Radio Ulster man.
Radio Ulster man?
Yes.
Who would that be?
I'm not mentioning any names unless you guess.
You don't mean him?
No.
Who?
It's a man that you often dine with.
Will you give me a name?
A man that you would often have lunch with.
I don't know who that would be.
Think about it.
Okay, so I'm sinking way down.
A man who works here, works for Radio Ulster, and you often have lunch with him.
I don't know who that might be.
A man would approach you and say to you, "Are you eating today?"
Brian Mullen.
Is correct.
Do you really think that if the universe was a result of random quantum physics, we would be able to enjoy a beer and a wee fag? I doubt it. God made beer and fags. The dinosaurs were just hidden underground to test our faith, whilst God was having a pint. I have submitted my thesis to the Royal Society, but they haven't got back to me yet. They have no sense. Another gentleman writes to me and he said, I have discovered a new fitness-style DVD which will surely get to number one in whatever chart is applicable. My pigeon-shooting hide manufactured with a machete workout. They'll all endorse it, from notorious duckles, that is Messer Holmes and Nolan, to the finger-wagging golfer, Mr. Coyle. You see, people noticed that you wagged your finger at a woman yesterday. The listeners hear you. You wagged your thumb. You
wagged
wagged your
my
finger
thumb.
at a woman driving yesterday.
I did. Yes. No talking on the phone. I said you're driving your car. No.
How does this strip the blubber and raise the heart's BM well over the ton? Well, I'll tell you. You must arm yourself with the aforementioned machete. Approach a blackthorn hedge. Next, due to the inch-long razor-sharp thorns, the only method that works is to adopt the Rheastrad of Cuchulainn. That's an Irish reference. This works by going literally berserk and slashing furiously with a machete, even maximising efficiency by utilising a backhand stroke as you obliterate the hedge, like a cross between Roger Federer on crack cocaine and a Colombian drug cartel general, men well versed in wielding such implements. In a minute, the sweat is on, heart rate up, sinew and muscles are as tight as a piano chord, and you have assembled a beautiful hide in which to crouch and ambush whatever takes your fancy, pigeons, crows or seals on Strangford Lough. Yours the Pablo Escobar of Clannabogan. That's a fitness-style DVD.
Do you see in future?
Yes.
If I see people driving their cars and using the mobile phone,
Don't wag your finger at
no. What if I take their number, their car number?
Report them to the
and
PSNI.
Could they be prosecuted?
Of course they can.
Good. I'll do that in future.
Yes. Do you know what you are? Tight!
See, when I was out walking last night,
Tight!
there's a call.
Tight.
Janet says there's a call.
Too late now, the record started. I'll go back to the call later.
She broke down and let me in. Made me see where I've been. Been down one time, been down two times. Never going back again. You don't know what it means to win. Come down and see me again. Been down one time, been down two times. Never going back again.
Never going back again, Fleetwood Mac. You were saying the other day, the members of the staff were saying that I read some Ulster Scots poetry the other day, which people kind of liked, and they'd like to hear a little more of it.
Gee, they're saying it now, not me.
What are they saying?
Girls are calling cooey from the corner.
They started saying cooey
Saying
now.
cooey from the corner, both of them.
Right, what's wrong then?
And they're waving because there's a call pending.
Pending. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
I'm sorry I had to keep you there. I didn't realise there were people saying cooey for no good reason. How are you today?
I'm doing the very best.
Okay, can I help you in any way today?
Yeah, you were talking the other day about books and stuff. I was on with you before about a book has from the library. It's about an Ulster parish is the name of it.
An Ulster
It's
parish?
An Ulster parish.
Yes.
And some of my old friends round the Warringstown, Donaghcloney area, that's where it's all about.
Yes. Yes.
Donaghcloney parish.
Donaghcloney Park?
Parish.
Parish. Donaghcloney. Yes, okay.
And the book is about 7 inches before black leatherette and was wrote in Dublin.
All right.
And it's a library book, and I got it out, I've lent it, and I haven't seen it since.
7 inches by 4, eh?
Yes.
Sounds like a good book.
Green leatherette.
All right then. So it's called An Ulster Parish. It's about Donaghcloney Parish.
Donaghcloney, Tullish, and Warringstown.
Okay. And it was published in Dublin, you say?
Yes.
All right, so maybe somebody might have that.
Well, I hope so.
I think you've got the radio. Would you mind turning down the radio just a wee bit? Is it handy for you there? Because
There you are.
oh, that's much better. Because whenever you have the radio on, there's a kind of an echo.
Aye.
And I hear myself twice, and once is bad enough.
You're right.
All right. Did you hear that? Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
Eh?
Did you hear? You're not even listening.
Janet's talking to me.
What's she saying?
Are you playing the football today?
I'm not.
No.
I've respectfully declined to have anything to do with it. But Nolan, of course, being the type of person that he is,
I was
will be up
thinking of
licking all their bums.
taking down my football boots, so I went and joined you.
Well, that's a good idea. Why don't you come down? I think it's in Stormont, isn't it? today?
Is Nolan doing goalie?
Well, all he has to do is stand there. He doesn't have to move. Nothing to
That's
get past
all.
him. That's right. So, an Ulster parish, Donaghcloney, established in Dublin 7 inches before.
Yes.
All right,
and
then.
there's
Anyone
some-
out there who knows anything about that, who's got it, or anything, or maybe perhaps has come across
That's right. yes.
Give us a ring. The number to
And
ring
it's
is...
somebody local. I landed to a certain, and I can't remember who it was, but it's probably passed on to somebody else.
Probably. But you don't want that particular book back. All you want is another copy of it.
And I need it back as a library book.
Or you want that particular copy back.
And the library's sending me they're sending me letters every week.
Are they?
And that's about,
But if
it's
you
been going on 6 months.
get another copy, sure, they might know the difference if you just leave it back to them.
Aye. That'll
Okay,
do
well, if you don't get the original copy that you lent out, maybe perhaps you could find out where you could get another copy. So anyone who knows where you get a copy of that, give us a ring at 08459 555 678.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
Bye. Bye. That was a vital call, Sean. Thank you very much. It was very important that I take that call. A man looking for a book 7 inches by 4. Ulster Scots. I read a poem the other day, and people seem to like that and would like me to do more. And a man called Martin has sent me another one. It's called Ode to a Fart.
See, I'm afraid to speak. They make me interrupt you now. Janet, give me two fingers there. Janet pointed 2 fingers at me to say call and...
How do you know that's what that means?
2, call and... Because the line's green. Claire. You
So
see?
I'm not going to get to read Ode to a Fart then.
I don't know.
Maybe after the news. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry, Colette here.
Colette, yes.
Right, we're having...
Janet put up 2 fingers to show.
I know. We're having a Northern Ireland hospice morning next Thursday, the 16th of September,
Yes.
up on the Old Park Road here in Park Furnishings.
Uh-huh.
So we're having an all-day coffee morning. We're just not having it in the morning because the postman and all doesn't get here till after 2, so they all want a bit of cake.
The postman doesn't get there till after 2. He always knocks twice.
So listen, can you put that all out there? We want as many people as we can get.
Give us it again, because sometimes people don't hear it the first time.
It's Park Furnishings on the Old Park Road,
All right, then.
and it's for the Northern Ireland Hospice.
And when is that going to be?
Next Thursday on the 16th of September.
Okay.
And there'll be ballots and food, homemade cakes, a lot of different things people can...
So it's a coffee morning that's going to go on all day.
It's going on from 9 in the morning to 5 at night.
So I'm doing a one-man show shortly with 2 people.
I do that all the time.
All right, then. The best of luck to you.
Okay, Gerry, bye.
Okay, yesterday a woman was on talking about being stung by a weevil. A weaver fish. Most human stings are inflicted by the lesser weaver, which habitually remains buried in sandy areas of shallow water and is thus more likely to come in contact with bathers than other species. Stings are most common in the hours before and after low tide, especially at spring, so one possible precaution is to avoid bathing and paddling at these times. They also increase in frequency during the summer to a maximum in August, and this is probably the result of a great number of bathers. It can be found southern North Sea to the Mediterranean and all around Ireland. Avoid this little bugger like the plague. That's
What
the
does he
weaver
look
fish.
like?
It's just
People
like
should
a little,
know about this.
like a little trout. See, sometimes it doesn't need water at all. Sometimes it can hibernate underneath the sand. And when there's little
Is
puddle
this in salt water, you're telling me?
salt, yeah, it's what's called the sea.
Yes.
It's called salt water, and
But a trout, you say? Trout's freshwater.
I know, but it
normally.
looks like a trout. I'm not saying it is a trout. I'm saying it looks
Oh,
like a
Janet.
trout.
Oh, we've got it here now. Ooh, a horrible looking thing.
So be very, very careful if you see a small fish that looks like a trout in shallow water.
Yeah.
Do not go near it, no matter what you do, because you'll
I
end
never
up
s-
in hospital, and it can be fatal.
Yeah.
Cheapers is right. The people out there are in danger. I've got some vaccination here if anyone wants it. I've got $250,000. weaver fish back. Oh no, not swine flu, but maybe it would be the same for a fish. I've got a garage full of them. Maybe perhaps you'd like to come along.
My doctor.
Sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee, and he fills it only halfway. And before I even argue, he is looking out the window at somebody coming in. It is always nice to see you, says the man behind the counter to the woman who has come in. She is shaking her umbrella, and I look the other way as they are kissing their hellos, and I'm pretending not to see them, and instead I pour the milk. I open up the paper, there's a story of an actor who had died while he was drinking. It was no one I had heard of, and I'm turning to the horoscope and looking for the funnies when I'm feeling someone watching me, and so I raise my head. There's a woman on the outside looking inside. Does she see me? No, she does not really see me, 'cause she sees her own reflection. And I'm trying not to notice that she's hitching up her skirt, and while she's straightening her stockings, her hair has gotten wet. Oh, this rain, it will continue through the morning as I'm listening to the bells of the cathedral. I am thinking of your voice.
That's Tom's Diner, of course, featuring a band called DNA, and of course Suzanne Vega, who wrote the song. That's the second version of that. Her original was a big hit as well. Right, that's all we have time for. Back after the news.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Martin Montague. The DUP MP for East Londonderry, Gregory Campbell, says Martin McGuinness has more questions to answer after he revealed he met Father James Chesney just before he died in 1980. When the First Minister gave a statement to the BBC 8 years ago, he said he'd never had any contact with the priest. Father Chesney was named as a suspect in the Claudy bombings in a police ombudsman report recently. Mr Campbell says he wants to know where Mr McGuinness was before and after the Claudy bomb.
Martin McGuinness needs to answer questions now. He's been forthcoming insofar as he has been this morning to one particular journalistic source and no other. But he needs to ask questions now, and the questions he needs to answer now are: what was he doing and who was he with on the days immediately leading up to the Claudy bomb and the days immediately afterwards?
Mark Eakin, whose 8-year-old sister Catherine was among the 9 people killed in the Claudy bombs, says he can't understand how Martin McGuinness could forget his meeting with Father Chesney.
Anybody can forget something, but to forget a meeting that would be so, how would you put it? If I had a meeting with a minister that was dying, I would remember about it. I don't go to church every Sunday. I hardly ever go to church, but I still believe in God. And I know a lot of ministers on both sides of the community. And if I was sitting with one of them in their deathbed, I would remember to the day I died.
An agreement looks like it's been reached on banks, which aims to ensure the future stability of the global financial system. The world's top central bankers and regulators are set to agree that banks must hold much more capital as protection against losses. There's growing anger around the world about plans by a small church in Florida to carry out a Quran burning ceremony on the 9th anniversary of the September the 11th attacks. The governments of India, Indonesia and Malaysia have urged President Obama to intervene. Now, with a look at the weather, here's Ben Suter.
Fairly dry this morning with some sunny spells. Feeling pleasant in light winds too, actually, this afternoon with highs of 20 Celsius, 68 Fahrenheit. Just a risk of a few showers this afternoon. Turning wet and windy overnight, but still fairly mild with lows of 14 Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit. A few spots of drizzle tomorrow morning, but then becoming mainly dry with some more sunny spells and highs of 19 Celsius, 66 Fahrenheit.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
There is an ongoing security alert in Strabane and Bradley Way remains closed. In Newtonabbey there is a lane closure on Scullions Road from Sandy Knowes roundabout to Mollusk Road. That's from 9:30 until 4 o'clock today and tomorrow. And at Belfast International Airport, the 10:15 EasyJet flight from Gatwick is now expected at 11:25. The 11 o'clock Glasgow arrival has been delayed by 20 minutes and the 4:45 EasyJet flight from Krakow is now due at 5 o'clock. Aileen Moyna reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback today, our secret shame. Is there a sex slave living in your street, forced to work as a prostitute by criminal gangs? Would you pay 8 times the face value of a ticket to see Northern Ireland play Italy? And an American church is marking 9/11 by burning the Quran. Which book would you burn if you could get away with it? Give us a call today on 08459 555 678. Our lines are open from 12 noon.
Which book would you burn?
I'd burn my credit union book.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a cracker. Do you know the book I would burn?
No.
The book that put me off university for all time. I once went to university to study social anthropology. And I had to do a unit of sociology, which, as you know, is the painful elaboration of the obvious. And I got a book. I read a number of books. I read about various Trobriand islanders and Margaret Mead's adventures in New Guinea. And I was getting a bit bored with it. I said, I couldn't be bored with this. And then I was told to read another book. And I read it, and that was me finished. Do you know what it was called?
No.
The Sociology of Sociology. I want to burn that one. Fleetwood Mac, of course, Landslide featuring Stevie Nicks. And before that, an old great song called Pop Music by a band called M. Some text messages here of Old Come Over continues to ignore texts. That'll be me. Mm-hmm. We will switch stations for good, says Sam. We can't have that kind of carry on. We can't have people turning over to old stations.
I'll come over. That reminds me that something I didn't tell you.
Go ahead.
I remembered this last night when I was out walking. A man approached me at a wedding reception.
Lucky you.
Right?
Yes.
And he said to me, he says...
I'm almost afraid to hear this.
He says, I have something for you and Anderson.
As long as I'm included, that's the main thing.
And he said to me, he says, well, what do you think of it? I said, what do you think of what?
He didn't show you anything.
He pointed to something.
Uh-huh.
And he says, what do you think of that?
Somebody said that to me once. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
And he pointed to his head.
What do you think of my head?
He says, what do you think of that?
Oh, I see.
You see? And I says, I don't know. I
don't know what to say.
It's your head. I don't know.
Can I name this man?
You would know him.
Do you think I know who it is?
You would know of him.
Okay.
You may not know. No, I don't think you know him personally, but you would know of him.
Did you notice anything about his head that was noteworthy?
I didn't. You see, and he says, "There you are. He says, I can do that for you and for Anderson. I said, what are you talking about? He says, my hair is dyed.
Oh, I see.
He says, I dye hair for people privately.
Oh, I see.
In their own home. And he says, I would like to touch you up.
Oh.
I says, what? I says,
at least he's honest.
Yes. And he says, I would like to give Anderson the works.
Oh, matron. Listen,
so he left me his card.
Burn that. Listen.
If you want the works, contact him. He's certainly not touching me up.
No, he's certainly not giving me the works, I'll tell you that. He can stay in his own house.
But it was great. I must confess.
What colour was his hair?
It was a sort of a brownish.
You see, this is good. A lot of the mistakes that men make, men particularly who have very dark hair, when they start to go grey, because men who have very black hair go grey very quickly. It's an Irish thing. It's called the Donegal Doos up in this end of the world. A lot of Irish people in Donegal have very, very dark hair. It's almost like non-Caucasian.
Donegal
Do you know what I mean?
Doos?
Yeah, it's Irish. Donegal Blacks, they call them.
Is that right?
Yeah, you never know that.
No, never. No.
Yeah. It's kind of a black, crinkly hair.
Gerry's never heard of it either.
That's because they are the same as you.
Emma's from Donegal.
She never heard of that?
No.
Do, of course, is Irish for black. Donegal Doos. I've always known that. But this is something that's probably not particularly known amongst the lower classes.
Is that not an old show band thing?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Did he say lower class? You cheeky wee monkey. Lower. But you guys and show bands. You had this thing about wigs and dyed hair.
No, why would people in show bands talk about Donegal people in Irish terms? I've often heard people talking about Donegal Doos. People in Donegal who are almost black. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Did you ever hear of a group called Dickie Do and the Don'ts?
As a matter of fact, I didn't.
Right. Anyway, go on. Donegal Doos.
Yeah, they're very, very dark and very swarthy and have very, very distinctive, crinkly dark hair, and they go grey very, very quickly.
Right.
And the mistake to make there is when they go very quickly, they try and regain the original colour. They dye their hair black. Mm-hmm. No black dye ever works.
No.
The only thing to do if you're going grey, dye your hair light or medium brown. That'll work. But you see, I have no intention of doing that because I'm quite proud of the little streaks of grey that I have. They make me look distinguished and smart. It's the lack of it that bothers me, not the colour of it. As the girl said to the sailor. Sean, for the love of God, shut up and let Gerry talk about Mad Men, the greatest TV programme in the world. Just because there's no golf or snooker on it, you don't like it. I bet you don't read this out.
Janet doesn't like it either.
That's because you're all the same in there.
Do you watch it, Emma? Mad Men? No, Emma doesn't watch it either.
None of you have any culture about you at all. You just always worry about your grub and drink. My dad's 76. I would love to play the match at Stormont. He played at Portadown and managed both ports in Glenavon. Can you guess who he is? From his son Stevie. Can you guess who that is? 76-year-old man who wants to play football at Stormont. He'd probably beat them all. He played at Portadown and managed both Portadown and Glenavon. Who would that be? We don't know. Thank you, Gerry. Haven't had a chance to listen to Fleetwood Mac Rumours in a long time. Classic album. Thanks again for playing a track from it. It's a pleasure. And here's a gentleman who says, I need your help. My name is Gary and I'm a native of Culmore in Derry. That's where I live. And I breed Yorkshire Terriers and I sold a dog to a girl called Maureen from Draperstown and I need her to ring me if she is listening to your show. Thanks very much. I'll buy you a pint. There's a man who sold a Yorkshire Terrier to Maureen in Draperstown. Obviously, he needs you to contact him. Probably something about the dog, I would imagine. Put the dog down, Damien.
Kira's on one.
That's a great line.
I use that all the time.
That's Gregory Peck and the Omen.
Yeah.
Put the dog down, Damien. Put the dog down.
I never got any porridge this morning.
He smoked pipe of peace with Tonto. Put his mask on back to fronto. Have you not get that yet? No. The pipe of peace was dope.
Well, we gathered that.
Well, why don't you laugh like a normal person? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello. Well, will you laugh like a normal person if I say anything funny?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks very much for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks. I'm calling on behalf of a children's charity called Tuesday's Child.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard of Tuesday's Child.
Yeah.
You had a CD out not too long ago.
Yes, we did. Yes, the CD is still available on our website. Yeah, it's
very,
quite
very
an interesting
good.
mix.
Very good it was too.
Yeah, it's good. This time I'm calling on behalf of our Pakistan appeal.
Yes.
We're sending over airlifts of aid all month. and we're a children's charity, so we're primarily looking for donations of items like baby's clothes, baby food, children's clothes, children's food, miscellaneous items like Diorolite, anti-diarrheal drugs, family packs that'll have things like bottled water, high-energy drinks, non-perishable foods, things like that.
Yes.
Yes, and it's taken place all month, and the drop-off point for us is St. Kevin's Hall on North Queen Street.
Yes, okay, yes.
And that's open kind of office hours and also on a Saturday at 9 until 4.
So people can come along and drop those things or whatever they have?
Yeah, they can drop it all off there, yep, or they can give us a call if that doesn't suit them. Our number is 02890
02890
50
yes
27
yes
25.
Got that, yeah.
And if they give us a call, we could arrange an alternative drop-off point. We have offices and places in more the southeast side of Belfast, so that would be good as well. And we have a website and an email as well, info@tuesdayschild.org.uk.
Okay, a wee bit slower, please.
info@tuesdayschild.org.uk.
Tuesday's Child. I'm just writing this down, sorry.
Oh, very good. And then our website as well, that's just tuesdayschild.org.uk.
tuesdayschild.org.uk. Okay.
Yeah, and we're also doing a really cool schools appeal where we're going around to all the schools, and if any parents are listening to this, we're looking for children to give their old rucksacks, backpacks, sports bags, things like that, and then we're going to pack up all our aid into those, and it'll just make it a bit more transportable, for people on the ground.
Yeah, because they need that help so badly.
Yeah, well, exactly, and I think it's a bit more practical than just giving money, and it'll translate directly through. We give 100% of everything we get. So.
Yeah, because we don't know where the money goes sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, I know, and I mean, especially in a country like poor Pakistan where corruption is a problem, I think this way you actually give items, and it's much more, much more effective.
There was a lady on this programme 2 days ago, I think it was Monday, and she has an entire container, not a container, but the container full of goods, and she collected for some other appeal a while back, and something happened. I don't know what happened.
Oh, excellent!
But
yeah.
she's got a garage full of stuff, and she's got things that maybe. I mean, have you interest in clothes and bicycles and things like that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I had urged her to get in contact with you, and if she's listening, maybe perhaps she'd give me a ring, and if she didn't catch the number, she can give it, because she's got a whole container of stuff.
Yeah, that would be brilliant, because we're looking to send over, a series of airlifts, not just one. We have unlimited amounts of cargo on Pakistan Airlines flights over to Pakistan, so it's
great.
Excellent.
Okay, so the phone number immediately is a Belfast number. It's 502725. And where can the people drop stuff in, just if they take a notion to do that?
They can drop it to St. Kevin's Hall, North Queen Street.
All right, then. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
Not at all. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye. I don't know if I should do this or not. Well, maybe I should. That's Bob Dylan. That's a song called Jolene from his last album, the title of which escapes me. Oh, no, it's called Together Through Life. And here's a gentleman who writes to me, Una, as your sunken ship or Titanic correspondent, I want to make sure your listeners don't miss out on this weekend's European Heritage Open Days 2010, when more than 260 events and properties are opening to the public. Now, the Belfast Titanic Society will be manning the Titanic Drawing Office. I've been in there. It's fantastic. Where the ship and many others were designed. We will be there in period costume and will give visitors an opportunity to see themselves in some Edwardian finery, if they want. There'll also be an opportunity to view not only the past but also the future, as visitors will be able to see the partially completed iconic building to be opened in 2012. There'll be a constant running presentation of the plans, and the Titanic Drawing Office, the building will be open on Saturday and Sunday from noon until 6 p.m. And remember, it's all free. All free. It's not a good idea.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
And also on Saturday. Saturday's a big day, a lot of things happening. I've been involved in this project, A History of the World, in 100 objects. We did a wee bus thing and a number of TV programmes that are on every night, wee short things, little 1-minute programmes about various objects, which I love doing. And on this Saturday in the Ulster Museum, between the hours of 10 and 2, a number of experts, curators of the museum will be there, and you're urged to bring along, if you want to, come along and bring something that you might have at home, something you think is of historic interest, or something that's been in your family a long, long time, and you don't know what it is, you don't know where it came from, maybe some piece of pottery, delf, whatever, who knows. Bring it along and the guys will look at it and value it for you. Not particularly value it, they might value it, I'm not quite sure, but they'll tell you all about it and stuff like that. And I'll be there myself for a couple of hours, and if you want to come down and chew the fat, I'll be there.
It's going to be a busy day, all right?
It's going to be a great day.
Yeah. We're out at 10:44.
What is? What?
We're out at 10:44.
What are you talking about?
Our 4-ball.
Oh, your golf?
Yeah, we're
Sorry,
at
I thought maybe
10:44.
perhaps you're interested in something else that was going on in the world, but obviously you're not. 10:44, the four of you.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well for you.
Barney's on one.
Barney? Is he? What about Fonzie? Is Patsy there too?
I don't know.
Well, you see, Barney, I don't want to talk to Barney because Barney just does the electrics. You see, you don't know what's wrong with the Kia. It might be the bodywork. I mean, in that case, I'll go to Fonzie. But if it's the engine, I'll go to Patsy. But if it's a combination of the bodywork and the engine and the electricity, I'll go to Patsy, and then I'll go to Fancy, and then I'll go to Barney.
Okay.
The three of them together. If Patsy can't work it, bring her down to Patsy.
I think Barney does the brakes.
Does he?
I think so. He bleeds the brakes.
Barney.
Good morning, Jack.
Barney, do you bleed the brakes?
No, I wouldn't have a clue about bleed. But here, I could try it. Not a bother.
Well, if you've any bother, bring her down to Patsy.
I bring it down to Patsy.
And if that doesn't work, bring her up to Fonzie. Sorry, don't mind me. I've lost my sanity.
It's funny. Francie, our guitar player, he's away to Canada for shall I say it, golf. But let's not talk any more about that.
I think
right?
golf. I think golf should be stamped out.
I
Because
think so.
the people who
Yes.
play golf are so hateful, and they really are. And
There's too many men with bad backs.
They walk around the golf gossiping, talking about people's money and what houses are for sale and bank
I
managers.
agree with
Well, sure. Anyway, what can we do for you today?
Good morning. Well, thank you, Gerry. Listen, Gerry, my message is twofold. I'm usually on pestering you for a bit of, shall I say, free advertising.
Yes, yes.
But I was in hospital there on Monday. By the way, I'm a drummer with wee band Breakaway.
Oh, are you? Oh, good.
You and I had a cup of tea, 2 years ago at the back of the... But anyway, we're not saying any more about that.
Who paid for it?
I paid for it, yes.
Just checking.
Fortunately, yes. But anyway, Gerry, we have a wonderful lady come to... I was in the hospital on Monday getting a few stints in. I have had numerous calls from different people and goodwill messages. So I'd like to return to the people and say thank you all. Thank you very much for your calls.
Yes.
Thanks very much for your cards and for everyone's kindness. It was
Did
great.
you say you had a few stents in?
I got the stints in, yes. I'm on fire on 4 cylinders now instead of 2.
Did you a wee heart attack? Had you a wee heart attack, had you?
No, thanks be to God, Gerry, I hadn't. Just a blockage on the main artery.
Okay, you
So,
didn't actually hit
Gerry,
the deck.
I'm 110%, thanks be to God.
Excellent, good.
No, I'll tell you what, the second fold is I have a wonderful lady, Louise Morrissey,
Oh, yes,
coming down to Barnbridge tonight.
yes.
And I'm just giving the show a wee plug.
Okay.
On tonight, we're the backup band Breakaway. Well, I'll not be on. There's a wonderful young drummer called Chris Peter.
Are you not ready to play yet?
No, but in 2 weeks, I think I'll be ready for the road.
But they might let you play without the bass drum. That's the one that wears you out.
That's right. Oh, where the seats?
The bass drum is the one that hammers you, isn't it?
That's it. I love it.
Tell me you'll go on without the bass drum and just batter the snare. And where are you? But where's Louise and the band appearing?
It's in the Ava movie studios in Banbridge.
Oh, that used to be the cinema.
It used to be the cinema, yes.
Oh.
It is actually, this is part of the complex now that is now the cinema there.
Oh,
Yes.
is it a cinema complex now? It used to be an individual cinema, wasn't it?
Well, it was.
Yes.
We have a wonderful singer who I know you know, Kevin Kearney.
Yes, indeed, yes.
Warren Smith from the foreign station, but Warren, a lovely fella.
Yeah.
And the compere is Big O.
Big O. Right.
What more could a man want?
What more could a man want, indeed?
And a lady come out to a wonderful night tonight. The show starts around 8 o'clock, Jerry. The doors are open at 7. It's 12:50. There's tickets still available from the Ava Box Theatre office, or pay at the door if you want tonight.
All right, then.
The tickets have went very well. We're just giving it that'll be extra plug.
Okay.
If anyone wants to come along, there's still tickets available.
All right, then. Okay.
No, thank you, Jerry.
Not at all, thank you.
I'll save it bleeding this car.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right, Jerry. Okay.
Bye. Bye.
I think you lost it towards the end. You really lost it towards the end. There was too many. Thank you. Thank you.
He should have
That's
stopped
it.
with Louise Morrissey.
Eh?
He should have stopped with Louise Morrissey.
You know.
I listen to your show most days, says David McGrath, The best of Gerry Anderson, which automatically downloads when I plug my phone into my computer. That's our little podcast. We don't talk about our podcast often enough. There's a podcast to this program. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. It's the best bits. It's 10 seconds long. Now, every day we have a different little podcast on. All you have to do is bbc.co.uk/podcasts. So most day when I'm out and about in Edinburgh, where I live, I drown out the buses, tourists, stag and hen do's, and so on, with the dulcet tones of you and your chain gang. Hello to everyone in Durragh-Columkill and surrounding Northwest. That's day of a man away from home, pining, perhaps? Pining.
There's an ad on TV, and I watched it the other night there for the first time, but I didn't really watch it. I was sort of reading the paper at the same time looking over at the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was all over, I says, what was that about? What was that ad for? And it's a fella sitting in a cafe, and he orders tea or coffee. And there's two girls watching him. And he takes, the sugar lumps, the cubes of sugar.
I know what a sugar lump is,
And he's lifting them out, and he keeps lifting them out, and I wasn't paying much attention to them. And the girls are giggling and laughing, and he's looking over at them as if they say, what's so wrong or something, And then he pours tea, or he pours into this cup, and then the waiter comes over, and the waiter goes to give him more tea or coffee, and he sees what he's done, and he goes, oh. And then the ad's over. I wonder what that ad was about.
I can't help you because I don't watch television. Maybe perhaps some of the listeners would know what that's
Maybe
about.
you don't watch television?
I don't watch television.
Yes, you do.
I watch only particular programs.
That's still watching television.
I know, but that's not the same thing. I just watch a particular program. I don't watch television. I record them and I watch them later. I don't sit down in front of TV when programs are on and watch them. I decide what to watch, and then at night I sit down on my own and I watch whatever I want to watch.
Yes, and you have that facility that removes the ads.
I remove the ads.
Yeah. Oh, all right then.
Great shows this week, kid. Where do great shows come from? I don't know. Do you have an in-house think tank at Radio Foyle? Well, we have strategy meetings. Who came up with the brilliant idea to supply you with substandard audio equipment? Well, that was decided a number of years ago. They thought we'll add a little spice to the programme to pretend that I couldn't work the machinery. Who decided that Geordie Tuff to be the agony uncle at Radio Foyle? Linda Bryant did. And what a masterstroke it was to unleash Mr. Coyle on an unsuspecting public. An example to all young hoods who wasted their lives throwing stones at the army. An example of a man who can throw stones at the army and end up good. Sure, he has a police record, but many other people have a copy of every breath I take. I looked at Tommy, my cat, who was playing bagatelle with a man called Taffy. Taffy's quite famous in Belfast, measuring 5'6". He says he's the world's tallest dwarf, and I, as a mere headbanger, can see no reason as to why this claim should be disputed. Better run along home now, little fellow, I said to him. The insurance man has just come out of your house. Your mommy will soon open a tin of something and hand you a spoon. I hope it's not another tin of Ron Call varnish, said the ungrateful little tyke. Why is it that people always seem to have a chip on their shoulder when they're wee? Using my hands, I picked up 2 clocks from the mantelpiece, handed one to Tommy and said, well, Tommy lad, now that we find ourselves with time on our hands, what shall we do? He didn't disappoint me. 10 minutes later, Tommy and I were in the garden, engaging in fierce, synchronized projectile vomiting after eating vast quantities of sex assault. Why is synchronized vomiting not included in the Olympic Games? It could be just many gold medals. Think of the practices being done in Bradbury Place on a Saturday night. And now we have Paddy Murphy and Sammy Smith booking their guts out in Bradbury Place via our live link. Both sections of the community represented. International booking, the best way to build bridges. Oh, I played another Bob Dylan song and I didn't mean to. I meant to play this. I would have kept it going, but that particular Bob Dylan track, I couldn't listen to it.
See the shape you're in. Finger on your eyebrow and left hand on your hip. thinking that you're such a lady killer. Think you're so slick. Well, alright. Brother Johnny, he caught a plane and he got on it. Now he's a razor in the wind, and he's got a pistol in his pocket. They say the man is crazy on the coast. Lord, there ain't no doubt about it. Well, alright. Sister Sue, tell me, baby, what are we gonna do? And she said, take 2 candles and then you burn them out. Make a paper boat, light it and send it out. Send it out now. Rosita, ¿dónde vas con mi carro, Rosita? Usted sabe que te quiero, pero usted me quita todo. Ya me robaste mi televisión, mi radio, ahora quiero llevar mi carro. No me haga así, Rosita. Ven aquí. Usted que salado, Rosita. Oh. Stand still, stand still. Hey Johnny, they're looking for you, man.
That's a song called Spanish Stroll by a band called Mink DeVille. A lot of great reports coming in about the Open House Festival this year. Apparently it's the best ever. To Gerry, Sean and crew, Paul and Walshy, I was at the Open House Festival gig in the Black Box last night after you talked about it yesterday. Lissy and Napoleon loved it. Get some of that playing on the show, boy. Get them up to Derry Stroke Londonderry. I will, actually, especially Lissy and especially Napoleon. By all means, of course, I will do that. Someone on the line here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is that you, Gerry?
It is, yes.
This is Madge. I heard a joke yesterday, and I know you'll love it. This guy was marooned on a desert island for 10 years. And in the distance, he saw this figure swimming towards him. And a frogman came up out of the water. But when the helmet came off, it was a beautiful blonde. And they got talking, and he told her how long he'd been there and all. She says to him, how long has he had a smoke?
Yes.
He says 10 years. So she opened a zip in one of her sleeves and brought out a box of cigars and a box of matches and gave it to him. And how long has he had a wee drink? He says 10 years. And she opened a zip in her other sleeve and she brought out a wee bottle of whiskey.
Yes.
And then she put her hand up to the neck of up to her neck, the zip at the top of her neck. And she says to him, she began to unzip it, and she says to him, and how long has it been you've played around, you know? And he dropped on his knees beside her, and he says to her, oh, don't tell me you've got a set of golf clubs as well.
Golfing joke?
Yes. I thought that. I think that's more for Sean than you.
He loved it. He'll be telling that in the club tonight.
Well, yes. And I phoned a friend yesterday, and she was very depressed.
And
I says, you like this? And I told her, and believe it or not, she laughed.
Oh, that's a nice wee joke.
So there you are.
That's
okay.
Good. Thank you for that joke.
All right, bye.
Thank you, bye. See, I was nice to her.
Yes, that's...
Because she was personable and she didn't annoy me.
I know.
And she told the joke and then she knew when to go.
She's personal, she didn't annoy me. Listen to you, old precious drawers.
Don't call me precious drawers.
She didn't annoy me.
Ulster Scots poem, Ode to a Fart. I have to get the accent right. If the accent's not right, stop me. Oh, what a sleek and horrible beastie lurks in your belly after the feastie. As you sit down amongst your kin, there starts to stir an enormous wind. The neeps and tatties and mushy peas start working like a gentle breeze, but soon the puddin' with the sunsy face will hae blowing all over the place. Nae matter what the hell ye day, anybody's gunny had to pay. Even if you try to stifle, it's like a bullet out of a rifle. Haul your bum tight to the chair, try to unstop the leaking air. Shift yourself fae cheek to cheek, pray to God it doesn't leak. But your efforts gone asunder. Out it comes like a clap of thunder. Ricochets around the room, mighty me a sonic boom. God almighty, it fairly leaks. Hope I haven't me breeks. Tay the bog, I better scurry. What the hell, it's no my worry. Anybody round me choking, twin and twa or nearly booking. I'll feel better for a while, can't I help but raise a smile. Was him I shout with accusing glower. Alas, too late, he's just keeled our. You dirty bugger, they shout and stare, I didn't feel welcome any more. Where'er ye be, let your wind gan free. Sounds like just a job for me. What a fuss at Robbie's party, or the sake of one wee farty.
Very good.
I think this programme's taking a downswing.
I can see you doing that, in an old people's home, sitting in your chair with a wee blanket around you, reciting all those.
That's why I'm folding it up and going to keep it.
You'll be the star of the show.
I'm going to keep it for 20 years until I'm ready. That's Marianne Faithfull. That's a song called Broken English. Haven't heard that for a long time. Here's a letter from Rosie Ryan. Autumnal greetings, Gerry. Rosie Ryan here. You've probably been wondering how my son Bon Jovi is doing. We haven't heard from you for a long time. I'm glad to retort that the cub is alive and kicking. He's just went back to school to work on his thesis entitled Seamus Heaney, Poet or Poser. Proser. It's frightening to stand beside the cub when he's doing his homework. The top of his head gets very hot. The cub is a phenomenon, Gerry, a one-off. There will never be another Bon Jovi Ryan. You can bet the farm on that. How are you anyway, Gerry, after all this time? How's all your kith and kin? Well, my kin are fine, but the kith are lost. I hope you're all jolly good and top hole. Please play Daddy Cool for a friend of mine who got locked in the freezer overnight at Moy Park Chickens. Appendages have been damaged. The doctors are working flat out to save his giblet. His wife, Delma, is climbing the wall, screaming, "It wasn't much, but it was mine!" Our prayers go out to her. She waits for news in the snug in Murphy's public house. I hope, Gerry, it makes you and Sean thankful for what you've got. You'll never miss it till it's gone. That's what Oliver Plunkett said just before they removed his head. Love, hugs and kisses from Mrs. Rosie Ryan. Nice to hear from you, Rosie.
True love, a silver heart upon a chain. In 1980 was engraved, our hearts so innocent. Before you knew a world of pain, before you learned to be afraid and live through time so cruel, but you can't start again. What you mean to me, the words I can't explain. I've been trying to discover something that can last forever. We're two fools who stand divided. You and I should be united. True love. I watch you dance across the room. Your eyes are closed, so beautiful. You're in another place. The music has enraptured you. So free our cares. I wish that you could always feel this way. Oh, we can't start again. For what you mean to me, I'll never walk away. I've been trying to discover something that can last forever. We're two fools who stand divided. You and I should be united. Don't be scared of your emotions. I will give you my devotion. True love. A silver heart upon a chain. In 1980 was engraved. A heart so innocent. Yeah, we can't start again. But what you mean to me, no one can take your place. I've been trying to discover something that can last forever. We're two fools who stand divided. You and I should be united. I've been
That's nice. That's a song called True Love, 1980. Now, yesterday, if you listen to this programme, there was a lady on called Helen Quigley. She was looking for a Davy Crockett hat. She's in here. Hello, Helen.
Hello, Gerry.
What a great hat you have. Pull that wee microphone closer to you.
Okay.
What a great Davy Crockett hat that
is. It's beautiful. I just got it in the post just now. She sent it yesterday.
And where did you get that one? Who gave that to you?
This came from Linda McShane from Craigavon. Lurgan in Craigavon.
She posted it to you?
So nice. Was talking to her yesterday, yeah.
That's a real one. That's I was looking before we went on the air there. I was looking on the inside. It's from Canada.
Yeah.
That's a real one.
I think this is rabbit fur and the tail is a raccoon tail.
Well, a lot of people might, object to that.
I shouldn't really be wearing it. I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, it's not as if you ate it. No, a lot of people kind of disapprove of that. But I mean, what can we do?
It might have died of natural causes.
It might have done, yeah. It might have died. It might have keeled over of old age. But it's a hell of a that.
Beautiful.
I like the way you wear it with the tail down the side. That's the new way of wearing it. Tell me what you wanted that for again.
It's an Ulster Scots education programme that's going to America, and it's going with the Blue Eagle Theatre Company at the end of the month. And it's telling the story of the Ulster Scots heritage in America.
But you're bringing that back to the North American continent from which it came?
Going back to where it came from.
So that's a raccoon tail? It's a raccoon tail and you think it's a rabbit thing? Yeah. It's all in one piece. Look, it looks absolutely fantastic.
It's beautiful. I'm so pleased. And another lady just rang now to say that she had one if this was no good. People are so nice. And then I also got a phone call from a man who has a museum in Antrim who would like me to make some costumes for him. So thank you very much. You've kept me in employment and in hats.
Can I try that hat on?
You can indeed,
let
yes.
Me see it.
It's flattened my hair now.
Well, you see, I don't have any trouble. I'm going to put it on over the headphones.
Oh, gorgeous! You can't.
What do you think of that?
I think it's great, Davy. Oh, it's great. Born on a mountain top in Tennessee.
This is solving my wig problem.
In the land of the free.
This is solving my wig problem.
So we knew every tree. Killed him a bar when he was only 3. Jerry Crockett, king of the wild frontier.
That feels good, That feels good. I'll take it off now. Helen, thank you very much indeed, and thank you.
That's okay, thank you, Gerry. Can I just say that Sean Coyle's far more attractive in real life than he is on the air?
Yes, you can say that, certainly. Yes, by all means, say it again.
I was only joking. Jerry's far more attractive than you are.
Oh, that's hateful.
You just watch yourself.
I got told off for flirting yesterday.
You just watch yourself, okay? Thank you for coming in, Helen. No matter what you
Jerry.
say, I won't believe a word you say. Fleetwood Mac again. It's been Fleetwood Mac Day today. I don't know why. I just love all that music. Morning, Vidal Sassoon. Watched the show on BBC Two last night about Janis Joplin. Boy, was she rough. But by God, she could sing. That's you're talking about Henry McCullough's old girlfriend there. Jerry, send me a copy of that poem. It's a cracker. No, I will not. Jerry has a few cases of your own book. Could you throw that on the fire as well? You see? You'd be nice to the people.
What about that poem? Could you put it on your website?
I don't know if I could or not.
I think Janet or Emma would do that.
Some of the people could do it. I don't have too many things to do. You're a man after my own heart. Right, slaphead. I'm going to defect to Frank Mitchell if you don't play a bit of Vivian Campbell. Imagine. Good morning, Jerry. Would you please some C6 Steve? Going to see him on Sunday night. That's C6 Steve appearing at the Open House Festival on Sunday night. What a great night that'll be. Hi, Chrome Dome. Any chance of a wee tune by the Henry Girls? We'll hear about the Henry Girls soon. When his country comes to town, coming to...
Pip.
It's 12 noon. Good afternoon to you. This is Talk Back with William Crawley.